There comes a subtle moment in life when money stops feeling like something you must chase and starts behaving like something that is responding to you. Not because you became greedy, manipulative, or obsessed with wealth, but because your inner alignment shifted. Ancient traditions, spiritual psychology, and even modern success philosophy all point to the same quiet truth. Resources move toward clarity, responsibility, and inner authority. When you are a chosen one walking your path consciously, money does not arrive as chaos or temptation, it arrives as opportunity. Not lottery luck, but doors. Not noise, but signals. If you are listening closely, life begins to whisper rather than shout. Divine money opportunities do not always look dramatic at first. They often come disguised as conversations, ideas, delays, endings, or strange inner nudges that refuse to leave you alone. The chosen one is rarely handed wealth outright. Instead, they are prepared for it. Preparation looks like isolation, pruning, inner discipline, and an almost uncomfortable growth in self-respect. If you have been feeling different lately, more selective, more focused, less impressed by shortcuts, this message may be reaching you exactly on time. Here are 9 signs that you are not just hoping for abundance, but actively attracting divinely aligned money opportunities. 1. You are becoming selective with your energy, not desperate. One of the first signs divine money opportunities are aligning with you is that desperation quietly exits your inner world. You may not even notice it at first, but there is a subtle shift in how you respond to possibilities. You stop chasing every offer, every trend, every loud promise of instant wealth that once triggered urgency or fear of missing out. Where there was once anxiety, there is now discernment. You begin asking better questions, not from suspicion but from self-respect. You pause before committing, not because you are afraid to move forward, but because you understand the cost of misaligned movement. This is not procrastination, it is maturity forming its backbone. You recognize that energy is currency, and where you spend it determines what multiplies. Money, much like people, responds to standards. When you operated from desperation, you attracted opportunities that mirrored that frequency. Unstable, draining, or short-lived. But now, something internal has changed. You no longer say yes out of fear of scarcity or out of the belief that this might be your last chance. Instead, you are learning to trust that what is meant for you does not require self-betrayal to obtain. Scarcity dissolves the moment self-respect takes its place. Chosen ones often learn this lesson the hard way. What you tolerate financially reveals what you believe you are worth. Low standards attract high stress. High standards attract clarity. As your inner posture changes, so does the caliber of opportunities that approach you. You begin to notice that fewer things demand your attention, yet the things that do arrive carry more substance, more alignment, and more potential. You are no longer reactive. You are responsive. This selectiveness is not arrogance, it is readiness. Divine money opportunities move toward those who are no longer begging for relief, but calmly prepared to steward increase. 2. Ideas begin visiting you repeatedly. Divine money often announces itself quietly, long before numbers, contracts, or visible proof appear. It begins as an idea, persistent, gentle, and impossible to ignore. You may notice it visiting you during still moments, just before sleep, during prayer, while driving, or while engaged in something entirely ordinary. At first it feels vague, almost insignificant. But then it returns, and returns again. Each time, it grows a little clearer, a little heavier with meaning. This repetition is not coincidence, it is instruction. Life does not shout divine direction, it repeats it. Chosen ones are rarely handed finished blueprints. Instead, they are entrusted with seeds. An idea that revisits you is not there to entertain you, it is asking for stewardship. It is testing your seriousness, your patience, and your willingness to nurture something before it proves itself. Many people dismiss these recurring thoughts because they want certainty before commitment. But divine money does not work that way. It reveals itself progressively, rewarding faithfulness to the process rather than obsession with the outcome. You may notice that the idea evolves as you evolve. What once felt intimidating begins to feel possible. What once felt confusing starts to organize itself naturally. This is alignment taking place internally before it manifests externally. Wealth follows those who honor ideas with action, patience, refinement, and humility. When you respect an idea enough to study it, improve it, and sit with it rather than rush or abandon it, you signal readiness. Repeated ideas are invitations. They are not pressure, they are permission. And when you finally decide to take one seriously, you often realize it had been preparing you long before you were aware of it. 3. You experience uncomfortable endings that free your time. Another powerful sign that divine money opportunities are aligning is the sudden ending of situations that once felt stable, familiar, or emotionally safe. Jobs, relationships, routines, environments, or habits may fall away, sometimes unexpectedly, sometimes painfully. At first, it may feel like loss or failure, but these endings are rarely punishment. More often, they are preparation. What once provided comfort may no longer support growth, and what no longer supports growth eventually becomes a cage. Chosen ones often outgrow spaces long before they physically leave them. You may have sensed stagnation before the ending arrived. A feeling that you were shrinking to fit, explaining yourself too much, or spending excessive energy just to remain in place. Divine money opportunities require space, mental space to think clearly, time space to build deliberately, and emotional space to take calculated risks without guilt or distraction. When something exits your life abruptly, resist the urge to panic or chase replacement out of fear. Endings that free your time are sacred even when they hurt. They force you to confront how much energy you were investing just to maintain what was no longer aligned. Once that energy is released, you may notice a strange quiet. And within that quiet, new possibilities begin to surface. This is not emptiness, it is availability. Often what leaves your life is not wrong. It is simply complete. It has taught you what it could teach you. Holding on to it would have cost you access to what comes next. Divine money opportunities require your full presence, not your divided attention. When something leaves without explanation, trust that it is making room for something that needs you undistracted and fully awake. 4. You start attracting conversations about growth and resources. Pay close attention to the nature of conversations entering your life lately, because dialogue is often the first doorway through which money opportunities arrive. When alignment begins, the topics around you subtly shift. People start talking to you about growth, expansion, resources, investments, collaborations, or problems that seem strangely tailored to your abilities. Someone may ask your opinion on a business idea. Another may mention a gap they cannot solve but you instinctively understand. These moments are not random, they are signals. Chosen ones become energetic filters. Without trying to impress or announce anything, you begin emitting clarity, competence, and grounded confidence. People sense it. They may not know why they feel drawn to speak openly with you, but they do. Opportunities often arrive disguised as conversations long before they appear as offers. Before money moves, words move. Before contracts form, connections form. You may notice that these discussions feel different from casual talk. They carry weight. They linger in your mind. They spark curiosity rather than anxiety. This is because divine money opportunities often enter through alignment of minds before alignment of resources. Someone recognizes something in you, your perspective, discipline, calm, or integrity, and feels compelled to involve you. Even problems are invitations. When people consistently bring you challenges, it often means you are being recognized as a solution. Pay attention to what others assume you are capable of handling. Life reveals your next level through what it asks of you conversationally before it asks of you financially. When growth-oriented dialogue becomes frequent, preparation is underway. 5. Your relationship with money becomes calmer. One of the most subtle yet powerful signs that divine money opportunities are aligning with you is a noticeable calm in your relationship with money. The emotional charge begins to dissolve. You no longer worship money as a source of identity, security, or self-worth, nor do you fear it as something perpetually out of reach. You also stop resenting it or judging those who have it. Instead, money becomes neutral, something to be respected, understood, and handled wisely. This emotional neutrality is not indifference. It is mastery in its earliest form. Calmness around money signals nervous system regulation. When money no longer triggers panic, envy, or ego, you gain the clarity required to make intelligent decisions. You are no longer impulsive during moments of gain, nor paralyzed during moments of lack. Divine money opportunities cannot be sustained by emotional instability. They require steadiness. Wealth magnifies who you already are. If fear or recklessness is present before abundance, it will only intensify after increase. Chosen ones reach a stage where money becomes a tool rather than a test. You understand that money flows best through those who do not cling to it or chase it aggressively. Instead of reacting, you respond. You plan, you allocate, you think long-term. Calm relationship allows you to hold money without it holding you. When loss no longer terrifies you and gain no longer intoxicates you, you become trustworthy in the eyes of life. Divine opportunities seek those whose inner world is stable enough to manage expansion without self-sabotage. When you can sit with money, whether little or much, without emotional chaos, you demonstrate readiness for increase that lasts rather than rises and collapses. 6. You feel guided to learn, not impress. As divine money opportunities draw closer, your priorities begin to shift inward. You feel a strong internal pull toward learning, mastery, and quiet preparation, rather than external validation. You may find yourself studying skills, systems, finances, leadership, discipline, or strategy without announcing it to anyone. There is less desire to be seen and more desire to be capable. This shift is not accidental, it is refinement. Chosen ones preparing for increase understand something deeply. Appearance without substance collapses under pressure. You begin to value understanding over applause. You read, observe, practice, and refine in silence. This humility is not insecurity, it is intelligence. Life does not entrust lasting wealth to those who only know how to perform. It entrusts it to those who know how to manage, sustain, and grow what they receive. You may notice that your curiosity increases. You ask better questions. You become aware of what you do not know and feel motivated to close those gaps. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you compare yourself to who you were yesterday. This internal orientation builds competence, and competence builds confidence that does not need approval. When you prefer learning over impressing, you signal readiness for responsibility. Divine money opportunities come with weight. They require decision-making, emotional regulation, and foresight. Preparation in private is often the final requirement before opportunity appears in public. When life sees that you are more interested in understanding than in appearing successful, it begins to trust you with more. 7. You are no longer attracted to shortcuts. Another unmistakable sign of alignment is a growing disinterest, a repulsion toward shortcuts. Get-rich-quick schemes, flashy promises, manipulative tactics, or unethical paths begin to feel hollow rather than tempting. What once looked exciting now looks unstable. This is not fear, It is discernment sharpening. You begin to understand that speed without structure leads to collapse. Chosen ones reach a point where they value sustainability over spectacle. You realize that anything gained too quickly often demands repayment in stress, integrity, or peace. Divine money opportunities are not built on exploitation, deception, or desperation. They are built on value, patience, skill, and contribution. They may take longer, but they do not extract your soul as payment. You become willing to walk the long road because you finally understand where shortcuts lead. Patience becomes a form of self-respect. You choose growth that compounds rather than spikes and crashes. This shift signals maturity. It tells life that you are no longer interested in borrowing success from the future at the cost of stability. When you reject shortcuts, you align with opportunities that last. You stop asking, "How fast can I get this?" and start asking, "How strong can this become?" Divine money responds to that mindset because it can be trusted. What arrives through integrity does not demand fear to maintain it. 8. You feel an inner obligation to use money wisely. As alignment deepens, you may notice a growing internal sense of responsibility regarding money. You begin to think beyond pleasure and impulse and toward intention. This does not mean you reject enjoyment. It means you outgrow recklessness. You feel an inner obligation to use resources wisely, not out of guilt, but out of awareness. You understand that money amplifies impact, and impact requires care. Chosen ones sense that wealth is a tool, not an identity. You begin thinking in terms of stability, freedom, support, and long-term benefit, rather than short-term gratification. You may feel called to build safety, create opportunity, or support others without needing recognition. This sense of responsibility is alignment in action. When you feel accountable to something higher than impulse, whether that is purpose, family, legacy, or spiritual integrity, you become someone money can flow through rather than control. Divine opportunities trust those who think beyond themselves. This does not mean self-neglect, it means self-mastery. The desire to steward money well is often the final internal shift before increase. Life responds to responsibility with resources. When you demonstrate that you understand the weight of what you are asking for, what you ask for begins to arrive. 9. You sense that timing is working for you. The final sign is perhaps the quietest yet most profound, a deep trust in timing. You stop forcing outcomes and begin cooperating with the rhythm of life. You notice that things arrive when you are ready, not when you are impatient. Delays no longer feel like rejection or punishment. They feel purposeful. You understand that readiness is not only financial but emotional, mental, and spiritual. Chosen ones learn that premature abundance can be as damaging as prolonged lack. When money arrives before wisdom, it creates chaos. But when it arrives at the exact moment you can handle it, it becomes a blessing rather than a burden. This awareness creates patience without passivity. You begin to sense alignment rather than urgency. Opportunities feel timely rather than stressful. You are no longer racing against others or against life, you are moving with it. This cooperation allows divine orchestration to unfold naturally. When timing works for you, trust replaces tension. You understand that what is meant for you cannot miss you. And when money opportunities arrive in perfect alignment with your capacity to sustain them, you know you are no longer forcing abundance. You are receiving it. If this message reached you at a moment when you needed clarity, reassurance, or confirmation, trust that it was not random. Alignment reveals itself through resonance. This is the Zillion Mind Channel. If you feel called to walk this path with awareness and discipline, support the channel by subscribing so you don't miss future messages meant to strengthen and guide you. And for those who know, deep down, that this message arrived at the exact right time, Type 1111 in the comment section as a declaration of alignment and an invitation for divine blessings to continue unfolding in your life. Thank you for watching.
Chosen one. This message you are about to hear is a divine revelation from the throne room of heaven. And if you are here right now, know this with absolute certainty. It is not an accident, not a coincidence, not a random moment in your day. You were summoned here by God Himself. Something in the Spirit pulled you. Something holy tugged at your heart. Because what God is about to say to you is too important, too personal, and too overdue to be delayed any longer. Heaven has reached a point where silence can no longer continue. The questions you've been carrying, the confusion you've been wrestling with, the prayers you whispered with tears, God heard every single one. And today He says, you deserve to know everything now, not later, not someday, now. This is not punishment. This is closure. This is not exposure. This is freedom. This is not a mystery God is hiding. This is truth He is releasing so you can finally breathe again. Understand this. When God decides you deserve answers, nothing in hell can withhold them. When God decides the veil should be lifted, every lie loses power. When God says, tell them everything, heaven is preparing you for clarity, for revelation, for understanding that will break chains in places you didn't even realize were bound. This is the moment where confusion dies and direction is born. The moment where what was hidden becomes visible. And the moment where God restores what pain tried to steal. Before we go further, if your spirit confirms this word, act on it now, like this message as your agreement. Subscribe so you never miss the next revelation God sends. Drop your city and nation in the comments so the remnant can rise together. And to those who are supporting us by giving into this ministry, whether through the link pinned in the comment section or the Super Thanks feature, hear me clearly. You are not just a giver, you are a co-laborer. We are partners in this divine. Your seed is not random, it is covenant. It is your declaration that says, Lord, I receive the truth you are about to reveal, and I align myself with it fully. May your seed go ahead of you. May it speak in rooms your feet haven't entered. May it open doors, silence enemies, and crown this season with clarity. Now stay with me. Do not scroll away, because in the next moments, we're going deeper into exactly what God says you deserve to know. And when you hear it, your entire understanding of this season will shift. This word will explain everything you've been sensing, everything you've been battling, and everything you've been waiting for. Let's go in. Chosen one, for so long you've been walking with questions you didn't have language for. You've been carrying burdens you never shared, wrestling with mysteries that stayed locked in the silence of your soul. You went through seasons where you didn't understand why things happened, why people shifted, why doors closed, or why God allowed certain storms. You tried to make sense of spiritual weight with natural reasoning, and nothing matched. But hear this with your whole being. God has decided that the season of confusion is over. What felt hidden is about to be revealed. What felt tangled is about to be clarified. Heaven is stepping into your uncertainty with divine explanation. The season of blindness is over. The season of unanswered questions is over. You are stepping out of the fog you didn't even realize you were in. The spiritual silence that once felt unbearable was actually preparation for this moment. God says to you today, you deserve to know everything now. That means clarity. That means direction. That means truth. That means understanding. You have been faithful with little knowledge. Now God is entrusting you with greater revelation. The very things that once tormented your mind are about to make sense in ways that bring peace instead of pain. Your spirit is entering a chapter where heaven is no longer speaking in hints. Now God is speaking in answers. No more guessing, No more interpreting shadows. No more asking, "Lord, what does this mean?" God is shifting his tone with you. He is not whispering around your life. He is speaking directly into it. You are stepping into a season where revelation flows with ease, where understanding rises effortlessly, where the voice of God becomes undeniably clear. What used to feel complicated will now feel simple. What once felt hidden will now be illuminated. The scripture echoes this shift. "Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not." Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3. God isn't hiding anything from you anymore. He is unveiling it. The veil is lifting. The mystery is unfolding. The silence is breaking. Heaven has decided that you deserve to know. And when God says you deserve to know, nothing can keep revelation from reaching you. Not fear, not confusion, not darkness, not delay. This is the moment where your understanding becomes your freedom. Chosen one, God didn't withhold answers to punish you. He withheld them to prepare you. There are seasons in life where knowing too much too soon would crush you, overwhelm you, or derail the very development He was trying to build within you. There are truths that require maturity before they can be carried, insights that demand spiritual stability, and revelations that can only be entrusted to someone who has been processed, refined, and strengthened. God is intentional with timing. He protects you not only from enemies, but sometimes from information you were not yet ready to receive. His silence was not rejection, it was mercy. There are revelations that demand spiritual strength. Some answers would have felt like burdens before they became blessings. Some truths would have confused you before they empowered you. Some clarity would have created pressure before it created peace. But today, God is saying, you are ready. Ready to understand why certain doors closed. Ready to see why He separated you from certain people. Ready to grasp the reason behind the delays. Ready to recognize the traps you avoided without even knowing it. Heaven releases revelation when the vessel is finally strong enough to carry it. This aligns with Jesus' words, "I have many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now." John chapter 16 verse 12. But now you can. Now you are not as easily shaken. Now you are not as spiritually fragile. Now you are not as emotionally reactive. Your spirit has grown. Your discernment has sharpened. Your vision has strengthened. The very things that once confused you would now make complete sense. What once would have felt heavy will now feel liberating. What once felt like mystery will now feel like strategy. God waited because He wanted you to be able to receive without breaking under the weight of understanding. Now, your spirit is mature enough. Now, your heart is steady enough. Now, your faith is anchored enough. God is revealing because you can finally handle what heaven has been waiting to show you. You are stepping into a level of revelation that matches your new level of growth. You are strong enough to see the truth without fear. You are wise enough to hold the truth without misinterpreting it. You are spiritually grounded enough to walk in the truth without running from it. This is the appointed time, your moment of divine understanding. Chosen one, something powerful is happening inside you. You can feel it. You know it. The stirring in your spirit is not imagination. It is revelation rising. The questions you once feared are becoming the very areas where God fills you with divine insight. The confusion that once clouded your heart is being replaced by a supernatural clarity that only heaven can give. This is not a moment of guessing. It is a moment of understanding. What once felt overwhelming is now becoming illuminated. He is about to explain why you had to be isolated, why certain relationships collapsed, why opportunities slipped through your fingers, why you felt unseen and unheard, why the journey seemed unfair, why your spirit felt heavy at times, and the most remarkable part, Every unanswered question was shaping you. Every silent season was growing you. Every hidden truth was protecting you. What you called confusion, heaven called construction. What you called delay, heaven called development. What you called abandonment, heaven called alignment. You were being strengthened in the exact places where you thought you were being weakened. God was not ignoring you, He was equipping you. And now the very areas that once hurt you are about to become the areas where He teaches you the deepest truth about yourself and your destiny. This is why Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and He shall direct your paths." You couldn't direct your own path because God needed you to follow His. The steps that made no sense before are about to make perfect sense now. What once felt like wandering is now being revealed as divine strategy. Now He's revealing the map. He's showing you where you've been, why you walked the path you walked, and where you're going next. Nothing was random, nothing was wasted. Every tear, every detour, every disappointment, every delay, they were all threads God wove together to guide you toward this moment of clarity. The answers are here, and your spirit is finally ready to receive them. Chosen one, let this sink deeply. Some things that broke your heart saved your life. Some things that confused you protected your destiny. You didn't understand it then, but heaven saw what you could not see. There were dangers you didn't perceive, intentions you couldn't discern, and spiritual traps you weren't aware of. God, in His mercy, allowed certain things to fall apart so that you wouldn't. You cried over what left, not knowing God was shielding you from what would have destroyed you. What felt like loss was actually divine rescue. God is about to expose the intentions of people you trusted. He's about to show you what was happening behind the scenes. He's about to reveal the spiritual battles fought on your behalf. The betrayal that wounded you, it cleared the path for your blessing. The rejection that humiliated you, it redirected you. The disappointment that drained you, it prepared you. You're about to understand why certain people had to exit your life, why certain opportunities collapsed, and why certain seasons felt dark. The truth is, everything that hurt you pushed you toward what God destined for you. God is saying, you deserve to know the truth behind your pain, not to reopen old wounds, but to let you see that what tried to break you actually built you. The storm made you wiser, the heartbreak made you stronger, the confusion made you more discerning, the silence made you seek God more deeply. You didn't just survive, you transformed. The very things the enemy meant for destruction became the tools God used to elevate you. And now, the truth behind those painful seasons will become the revelation that strengthens your next chapter. Jesus Himself said, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." John chapter 8 verse 32. This is your freedom moment, your truth moment, your awakening moment. God is pulling back the curtain so you can finally see with clarity, breathe with freedom, and walk with confidence. What once felt like heartbreak will now feel like understanding. What once felt like confusion will now feel like closure. This is the moment where revelation becomes liberation, and everything in your spirit steps into a new level of peace and purpose. Chosen one, get ready for divine understanding. The confusion that followed you, it's dissolving. The fog that clouded your decisions, it's lifting. The uncertainty that made you question yourself, it's being replaced with heavenly clarity. You have walked through seasons where nothing connected, nothing aligned, and nothing felt purposeful. But now, God is clearing the spiritual atmosphere around you. He is untangling what felt complicated and illuminating what once felt hidden. This is not random. This is revelation. God is reorganizing the pieces of your past so you can finally understand the picture of your purpose. He is aligning events, conversations, losses, breakthroughs, attacks, blessings, and delays into one coherent story. Every moment is being woven together with intentionality. The things that once felt scattered are being gathered. The memories that once confused you are becoming stepping stones of understanding. Heaven has been arranging every detail with precision, and God is now ready to show you how every thread connects to your destiny. What didn't make sense last year will make sense now. What didn't make sense last month will make sense now. What didn't make sense last night will make sense today. Because when God decides to reveal, revelation comes swiftly. When God decides to clarify, clarity comes instantly. The same situations that once frustrated you will become testimonies of divine orchestration. The same delays that once hurt you will become proof that God was building something better behind the scenes. Because God said, "You deserve to know everything now." This is your moment of understanding. This is the unveiling. This is where the dots connect, the questions settle, and the truth becomes clear. What once felt like confusion is becoming confirmation. What once felt like chaos is becoming clarity. Your spirit is stepping into a new level of awareness where everything, past, present, and future, finally makes sense under the light of God's revelation. Chosen one, listen closely. You're stepping into a season where God will confirm things quickly. Not next year, not 5 months from now. Now. This is a spiritual acceleration, a divine quickening where heaven responds faster, clearer, and more directly than before. Your dream life is about to intensify. Your intuition will sharpen. Your discernment will increase. Your spirit will feel more connected to God than ever. The very areas where you once felt unsure will suddenly feel illuminated with certainty. God is not just speaking to you, He is guiding you, surrounding you, and aligning you. The Holy Spirit is about to reveal what is for you, who is for you, where you need to go, and what you need to do next. You will no longer guess your way through decisions. You will no longer wrestle with confusion. You will no longer fear stepping in the wrong direction. Heaven is positioning you with divine precision. People you were unsure about will be exposed or confirmed. Opportunities you questioned will become undeniably clear. Paths that looked foggy will suddenly open with direction. God is making your steps unmistakably guided. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21 promises this. Your ears shall hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it." Chosen one, this is your confirmation season. This is the moment where every hesitation breaks, every doubt dissolves, every uncertainty fades, and every step becomes divinely informed. You will know where to go, when to move, and whom to trust. God Himself will whisper direction into your spirit. You asked for clarity. Now heaven is pouring it out. This is the season where God confirms everything. This is a message of hope, and here is the hope. You are not stumbling forward anymore. You are stepping into revelation. You are not guessing anymore. You are receiving divine wisdom. You are not in the dark anymore. God is turning on the lights. Your spirit is rising. Your mind is awakening. Your heart is healing. Your purpose is aligning. Everything inside you is beginning to shift into divine order. What once felt unstable is now becoming steady. What once felt heavy is now becoming lighter. Hope is not something you are reaching for. Hope is something God is placing inside you right now. It is settling into your spirit like fresh strength, like new breath, like holy confidence. The hopelessness you once felt is being replaced with divine assurance. You deserve truth. You deserve clarity. You deserve understanding. You deserve revelation. God is not holding anything back from you, not anymore. He is pouring wisdom into your mind, peace into your heart, and direction into your spirit. You are stepping into a season where the answers you longed for will flow effortlessly, where confusion loses power, and where your spirit feels grounded in truth. Because God said, "You deserve to know everything now." And when God declares that you deserve something, heaven moves to deliver it. This hope is your confirmation that something new has begun inside you. Chosen one, let this message sink deep into your spirit. This is the moment your life shifts. God is unfolding mysteries. God is revealing hidden things. God is answering long-standing questions. God is aligning your steps with purpose. You are not walking into confusion. You are walking into clarity. You are not walking into uncertainty. You are walking into revelation. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking into truth. Heaven has spoken. Your season has shifted. Your answers have arrived. God said, "You deserve to know everything now." Let's pray this prayer of faith together as one family. Heavenly Father, in the mighty and unmatched name of Jesus, we come before you with hearts open, spirits ready, and souls awakened to the fire of your presence. Lord, let your glory fill this very moment. Let your power rush through every listener like a mighty wind. Let your truth break every chain, silence every lie, and lift every burden. Father, release a wave of divine strength that touches the one who feels weak, a wave of hope that revives the one who feels tired, and a wave of courage that empowers the one who has been afraid to move forward. Lord, everything spoken in this message, let it take deep root. Let it awaken identity. Let it resurrect purpose. Let it ignite destiny. I declare by your authority, O God, that every person under the sound of my voice will rise with new fire, new clarity, and new boldness. Father, let your Spirit breathe fresh life into every dry place. Restore what was lost, rebuild what was broken, and renew what was wounded. Strengthen their hands, strengthen their minds, strengthen their hearts for the journey ahead. Father, I pray for supernatural alignment. Close every wrong door and illuminate the right ones. Lead them into divine favor. Surround them with divine protection. Let your peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, settle upon their homes, their families, their businesses, and their dreams. Lord, guide their steps so clearly that confusion loses its power forever. Order their path so divinely that every step becomes a testimony of your faithfulness. And Father, I lift up every single person who will subscribe, like, comment, share, and stay connected to this assignment you have breathed upon. Bless them in a way that only heaven can bless. Let their obedience open new doors. Let their support unlock unexpected breakthroughs. Reward them openly for what they do privately. Let favor chase them. Let grace surround them. Let miracles locate them. And let testimonies rise from their lives like fire. Lord, let this prayer not be just words. Let it be power. Let it be deliverance. Let it be transformation. Let it be a divine encounter that marks them forever. Seal this moment with your glory. Surround it with your angels. And let every heart right now feel the weight of your presence and the warmth of your love. In Jesus' mighty, sovereign, unshakable name, Amen. If this message has touched your heart and you'd like to support our mission of spreading God's word, there's a link pinned in the comments below. No gift is too small. Your generosity, even just a penny, can bring hope and joy to someone's life. Thank you for partnering with God in this important work.
There are certain habits, cravings, and inner pulls that ordinary people will never understand because they were not designed for them. But chosen ones, those set apart by God for a higher calling, often feel drawn to things that look strange to the world but perfectly aligned with their spiritual destiny. These addictions are not destructive. They are divine compulsions. heavenly instincts that help shape the chosen one into who God needs them to become. They are spiritual appetites that seem to burn inside you for reasons you cannot fully explain. Yet they always lead you back to purpose, clarity, and elevation. Chosen ones are wired differently. Their souls operate on frequencies that others cannot hear. While ordinary people are addicted to comfort, validation, and distractions, chosen ones become addicted to growth, truth, and solitude because God is preparing them for assignments that require spiritual stamina and mental sharpness. These divine addictions are not coincidences, they are indicators of spiritual separation. They are the signs that you are being molded, sharpened, and guided into a destiny much larger than you. If you experience these addictions, understand, you are not strange, you are chosen. 1. Addiction to solitude. Chosen ones crave being alone, not because they dislike people, but because solitude is where God speaks the loudest. You feel a deep need to withdraw, to step away from the noise, the drama, the chaos, and the constant expectations that the world tries to place on you. While others fear silence because silence forces them to face themselves, you run toward it because silence is where your strength grows. Solitude becomes your sanctuary, your private chamber, your hidden place where God molds you without distraction. Many people misunderstand your desire to be alone. They assume it's loneliness or antisocial behavior, but they don't understand that solitude for a chosen one is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is where your spirit gets refilled. It is where clarity returns. It is where confusion dissolves. In your quiet moments, God whispers revelations, ideas, warnings, strategies, and insights that could never survive the noise of the crowd. When you are alone, you are not isolated. You are being instructed. God uses your isolation as a classroom where He teaches you things no human mentor could ever teach you. He uses it as a workshop where He strips away old versions of yourself that no longer serve your purpose. He uses it as a healing room where you confront past wounds and emerge stronger. Solitude becomes a spiritual detox, flushing out fear, doubt, negativity, and emotional clutter that would block your progress. The chosen ones often grow faster alone than others grow with hundreds of people around them. You begin to crave time with yourself because you discover that God hides the deepest upgrades in silence. While ordinary people distract themselves to avoid their own thoughts, you embrace silence because your thoughts are aligned with purpose. Alone is where your intuition sharpens, where your vision becomes clear, where your identity strengthens, and where God shapes you into who you were always meant to become. 2. Addiction to truth. Most people love comfortable lies, but chosen ones crave truth even when it hurts. You have a spirit that refuses to settle for illusions, shortcuts, or half answers. You feel restless around fake people, shallow conversations, and empty distractions because your soul is wired for depth. Anything that lacks authenticity feels like poison to your spirit. You can sense dishonesty even when no one says a word. You feel it in the atmosphere, in their tone, in their intentions. This creates a natural distance between you and anything or anyone built on illusion. God designed you this way because your destiny requires clarity, honesty, and spiritual discernment. Lies may comfort ordinary people, but they blind chosen ones. You are not created to live in denial or confusion. Truth is what strengthens you, matures you, elevates you, and prepares you for your assignment. There is something inside you that would rather confront a painful truth than live under a beautiful lie. You don't seek truth to judge others. You seek truth to understand yourself, your purpose, your path, and the world around you. Lies weaken your spirit, but truth sharpens your discernment. This is why you cannot stay around fake people for long. Their energy drains you. Their conversations bore you. Their intentions disturb your peace. You crave depth, meaning, honesty, and alignment, because these things reflect the nature of God. When you pursue truth, you become spiritually unshakable. God reveals things to you others cannot see, motives, patterns, warnings, and spiritual signs. Your addiction to truth becomes your protection. It keeps you from manipulation, deception, and spiritual traps. It aligns you with your purpose and keeps you rooted even in seasons of uncertainty. To a chosen one, truth is not optional. It is oxygen. It is the foundation of your journey, your growth, and your connection with God. 3. Addiction to self-improvement. While ordinary people get addicted to laziness, comfort, and entertainment, chosen ones become addicted to evolving, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and even physically. You cannot stay the same for long. Your spirit becomes uncomfortable when you stop growing. There is a divine restlessness inside you that pushes you to refine your character, upgrade your habits, and master yourself. This is not something you learned. It is something God placed in you. Your destiny demands excellence. Your calling requires a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of you, so God gave you the hunger to evolve. You always sense that there is more to learn, more to master, more to become. You feel pulled upward, stretched forward, pushed beyond your comfort zone. Most people fear self-reflection, but you embrace it, because you know growth happens when the truth confronts you. You want to become the best version of yourself, not for applause, but because you feel responsible for the assignment God placed on your life. You read, study, analyze, evaluate, and constantly adjust yourself. You grow through pain, you evolve through challenges, and you transform through awareness. While others waste time, you invest it. While others repeat the same mistakes, you learn from them. While others complain, you adapt. This addiction to self-improvement separates you from the crowd. It makes you an anomaly. It makes you unstoppable. You feel uncomfortable staying stagnant because your spirit knows your future is too great to remain average. God uses this hunger to elevate you above limitations that trap ordinary people. Every season of your life teaches you something. Every setback makes you sharper. Every breakthrough raises your standards. Growth becomes your lifestyle. Improvement becomes your language. Transformation becomes your identity. You were chosen not just to change your life, but to set an example, to show what happens when someone commits to becoming who God designed them to be. 4. Addiction to purpose over pleasure. Chosen ones are pulled toward purpose like a magnet. You can't enjoy meaningless activities for long. Even when you try to relax in ways that others enjoy, something inside you feels off, like you are wasting time or drifting away from your assignment. You start feeling uneasy around anything that distracts you from your calling. You can sense when you're out of alignment, even if what you're doing is fun for everyone else. While others chase pleasure, temporary thrills, and quick gratification, you feel naturally drawn toward responsibility, vision, and mission. It's not that you dislike pleasure, it's that empty pleasure cannot satisfy a soul created for impact. There is a fire inside you that refuses to be entertained by things that don't feed your purpose. You may try to live a normal, carefree life, but God won't let you. He keeps pulling you back to your assignment, reminding you of who you are and what you were sent to do. You were never built for a life of comfort. You were built for a life of impact. Pleasure may relax you for a moment, but purpose fulfills you on a soul level. Purpose gives you meaning. Purpose grounds you. Purpose strengthens you. Purpose shapes your identity and fuels your decisions. You feel a sense of responsibility that other people don't carry, and sometimes it feels heavy, but it also feels right. It feels divine. When you prioritize purpose, God begins shaping your path more clearly. Doors open for you that close for others. Opportunities find you. clarity surrounds you. You begin to attract the people, experiences, resources, and knowledge required for your mission. This addiction to purpose becomes your compass, guiding your choices and protecting your future. Ordinary people may waste years chasing pleasure, but chosen ones understand that real joy, real fulfillment, and real success come from walking in purpose. Your spirit thrives when you do what God created you to do. 5. Addiction to spiritual knowledge. Chosen ones hunger for wisdom, scriptures, spiritual books, teachings, revelations, and divine mysteries. Your soul absorbs knowledge as if it has been starving for deeper meaning your entire life. You don't just want to know what happens in life, you want to understand why. You seek purpose behind every experience, symbolism behind every encounter, lessons behind every pain, and messages hidden inside every blessing. You are not satisfied with surface-level explanations. You crave the spiritual architecture behind reality, how God moves, how energy flows, how destiny unfolds, how alignment works. This is a hunger that ordinary people cannot understand because they consume information to pass time, but you seek wisdom to transform your entire existence. When you read, listen, or study, something inside you wakes up. It feels familiar, like your soul recognizes ancient truths you knew long before your physical body was born. You highlight, underline, reflect, meditate, and internalize wisdom because you know your mission requires clarity and depth. God gave you this thirst because your assignment is spiritual, not superficial. He needs you equipped, informed, and enlightened. Your ability to discern, interpret, and understand spiritual laws determines the heights you can reach. So God feeds your hunger with revelations that don't come from mere intellect, but from divine downloads. You begin to see patterns others cannot see, synchronicities, warnings, confirmations, and revelations hidden in everyday life. You talk differently, think differently, observe differently, and respond differently because spiritual knowledge rewires your perception. While many people rely on assumptions or emotions, you rely on wisdom. Wisdom becomes your shield, your compass, your weapon, your foundation, and your guiding light. You understand that knowledge transforms your spirit, elevates your character, deepens your discernment, and prepares you for your destiny. To the chosen one, learning is not an option. It is spiritual nourishment. It is how you stay aligned with God's plan, how you navigate challenges, how you interpret signs, and how you evolve into the person you were always meant to be. 6. Addiction to alignment and peace. You become deeply sensitive to anything that disturbs your inner peace. Toxic people, chaotic environments, negative conversations, unnecessary drama. You feel allergic to them. What others tolerate, you simply cannot. Your spirit reacts instantly when something is out of alignment. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is spiritual maturity. It is the internal alarm system God installed inside you to protect the mission He placed upon your life. You crave alignment, balance, and harmony because you understand that God operates through peace. Peace is not the absence of noise, it is the presence of divine order. When something disrupts that order, you feel it physically, emotionally, and spiritually. As a chosen one, you begin to value peace more than approval, more than company, more than entertainment, and more than comfort. You refuse to stay in environments where your spirit cannot breathe. You walk away from conversations that drain you. You distance yourself from people who disrupt your equilibrium. You protect your mind, your heart, and your energy because you know your peace is a portal to God's guidance. When your soul is calm, you can hear God clearly. But when your peace is disturbed, everything becomes blurry and confusing. Alignment becomes your goal in every area: relationships, decisions, habits, environments, and emotions. You want your life to match your spirit. You want your steps to match God's timing. You want your actions to match your purpose. And so you begin removing anything that creates spiritual noise. You start choosing solitude over chaos, growth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and purpose over popularity. People might accuse you of being distant or changed, but they don't understand that peace is your spiritual oxygen. Without it, you cannot function at the level God is calling you to. Your soul refuses to stay where your spirit does not belong. And this becomes one of your greatest strengths. 7. Addiction to helping and healing others. Chosen ones naturally feel drawn to uplift, encourage, guide, and heal others. It isn't something you try to do, it is something you are. You can't watch someone struggle without wanting to offer hope, clarity, wisdom, or direction. You sense pain even when it's hidden behind a smile. You recognize spiritual wounds even when they are disguised as anger, pride, or confidence. You understand people deeply, and they feel strangely safe around you. This ability is not accidental. God wired you this way because you were chosen to be a light in dark places. When others vent to you, seek advice from you, or lean on you in moments of weakness, you don't see it as a burden. It feels natural, like breathing. You listen differently. You care differently. You speak differently. Your words carry healing. Your presence carries comfort. And your spirit carries reassurance. Even when your own life feels heavy, you still find strength to support someone else. Not because you're trying to be a hero, but because compassion is part of your spiritual DNA. This addiction to helping others is often misunderstood. People assume you're just kind or